everybody, in today's episode of Is It a Legit Use Case or Is It a Bold-Faced Lie? We're going to be looking at Google's new XR glasses, and in particular, in the demo that they did on the TED Talk stage, they talked about a use case where you can use these glasses, these Google XR glasses, to help you find your keys, and I'm all for this use case because I've been putting my keys on this little 3D printed statue of David. But every once in a while I come, it's not here, and then I'm like, well, where are my keys? And I would really appreciate it if I had an AI. Now I don't wear glasses, which is a problem. So how would I use this product? But like, I'm gonna get past that and say, let's say I am using glasses, or they somehow burned it into my retina, Google or whatever. And so I was intrigued. But here, let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is the use case, and she's gonna be on stage, and here we go. Let's play it.
Okay, so let's try something harder.
Something harder.
I keep losing my hotel key card. Do you know where I last left the card?
The hotel key card is to the right of the music record.
Right.
For someone as forgetful as me, that's a killer app.
I agree, 100%. If I have this app, if I have an AI that can tell me where my keys are, I mean, without putting like an air tag on them or something, like just practical. This is great. This is a great use case, and I'm like, well, I want to do this because I lose my keys all the time. And so David isn't a reliable key holder, you know. So I was like, let me test this out. I don't have the glasses. I don't have access to the glasses. And frankly, there's a lot of issues with the glasses, like the privacy issues. Like, is everyone? I mean, it's a Black Mirror episode, right? There was literally one of my favorite Black Mirror episodes. I think it's called Everything About You. And then someone could replay the videos of their day, and this is kind of what they're doing with these glasses, these multimodal glasses that are recording everything. Whether you like it or not, and whether it can be used against you later in a court of law or not. And so I want to try this use case. So the first thing I did was I took it to obviously to Gemini, and I'm like, okay, well, you know, they show this on Gemini. Let me try it on Gemini. So here, this is my attempts to try it on Gemini. And so my first question to Gemini is, I'm going to upload a picture here of my desk, of my office. This is in the company that I work. This is where I sit. It's very cluttered, and I'm like, I've lost my keys, but there's somewhere on this desk. Can you help me find my keys? Which is kind of what they did in the demo. I'm like, I'm doing the same thing just without the glasses. I'm using Google Gemini just without the glasses. Still multimodal. And the answer that I got was, it's tricky to spot your keys in this image. They aren't immediately visible on the desk's surface. But I did put a set of keys there. I swear I put a set of keys there. They're there. You just have to look really closely, which is, you know, I mean, obviously if they were really easy to find, you know, so so I gave it a hint. Okay, my keys are near the computer. I remember that's the last place that I put them was right near the computer, but I can't find them. And there's like literally right next to the computer. They're right behind the computer. And I don't see anything that immediately looks like a sort of keys. Could they be underneath the laptop, tucked behind the large monitor, mixed in with the cables and wires behind the devices? So Google Gemini is absolutely useless when it comes to finding my keys. But I was like, okay, don't despair, man. Don't despair. You're going to find your keys because you still have ChatGPT, and ChatGPT can also do the multimodal stuff. So I'm going to be like, okay, ChatGPT, and this is where it gets truly unhinged. I uploaded the same picture to ChatGPT, and I was like, help me find my keys. I was like, well, I've lost my keys. And then I'm like, help me find them. I've lost my keys, exclamation. I know they were here. They're somewhere on my desk, but where? And I sent that, can you help me? And so basically ChatGPT doubles down, and ChatGPT is like, okay, I'm looking. Good news, I see your keys. Okay, and it says they're located near the bottom right corner of the image, just behind the small white dish with the plant partially on the desk and slightly under the, They're located near the bottom right corner of the image, just behind the small white dish with the plant and next to the green sunglasses. Okay. The keyring is silver with a couple of keys clearly visible, resting partially on the desk and slightly under the sunglasses. Is it next to the glasses? Are they under the glasses? Let me know if you need help spotting anything else. And I'm like, well, I do know where the keys are. The keys are right behind the computer, but I'm going to ask it again. Hey, chat, can you, point it out to me? Like, can you circle them in the picture? And then it took it a while. It's processing the image for a very long time. And finally it comes back with this image. And this image, it basically, it just hallucinated a set of keys right in the image. It changed. It's like it's like those images you used to have in the highlights magazine when you were a kid and waiting in the dentist's office, and they're like, spot the differences between the two pictures. I'm going to put both these pictures right up next to each other, and you're going to tell that it went ahead and took liberties with this picture. I don't even recognize it. This is my desk, and everything seems to be slightly off. I mean, from a distance, it looks passable, but if you look closely at these images, they're nothing alike. First of all, there's two sets of sunglasses. There's three or four, there's multiple sets of plants. The image on the computer isn't the same image. The desks in the background are totally different. On the right side of the image is totally different. And so, yeah, it can't help me find my keys. So nobody can help me find my keys. So I guess the very long answer to a very short question is this a good AI use case, or is this bold-faced lie? I'm going to go with, this is a bold-faced lie. This is not a use case that anybody can use right now in any way, despite the fact that Google went on stage at that TED Talk and talked about it and did it on stage. I don't think it can be done. So prove me wrong, Google, and help me find my keys, because I've been locked out of the house and I can't get back in. Anyway, cool.